Alright, all you streetlight crusaders, and I guess a couple of you late night wrestling fans out there tonight, welcome back to the Tuesday Night Special. And now it's time for us to talk about what happened during this week's Across the Pond edition of Monday Night Raw from Manchester, England. Now, I'm not too entirely sure if I did that joke from Saturday Night Live with Eddie Murphy right, but it felt right. It really did. And plus, I like saying England like that, so I might say it like that more often. Not to offend you guys on the other side of the pond or anything, but for some strange reason, I have a feeling that most of the people in England would say it like that if they were at some fancy concert with those powdered wigs and those bifocals that you would see at one of those museums or old classic theaters. You know, before I dig a hole any deeper, folks, Monday Night Raw would kick off with none other than the man Becky Lynch, finally coming back after several weeks' absence due to family issues, but would then come back and say that she knows that the people who she ticked off by going cross all over the world is getting stronger and hungrier, and she would respond by saying to bring them on, cause the only thing she is truly afraid of is not being the best. And then would also inform the fans that she has a tag team title match and she's gonna become Becky Two Belts tonight. And during this match, with her partner being Charlotte Flair fighting up against the Kabuki Warriors, it looked like they were well in tow to get those tag team titles. Even though Charlotte Flair was highly nonchalant during this match by pulling off a very impressive figure four headlock suplex on 3 separate occasions, allowing Kairi Sane to tag out to Asuka, only for her to get wrapped around like a pretzel by Asuka during this match from not only an octopus stretch, but also an armbar that she would reverse into a nasty looking powerbomb for a near fall. And then once Becky Lynch got back into the match, she would deliver double drop kicks and even a Bexploder to Asuka. But unfortunately, that momentum for them about to win the tag team gold would go up in smoke once Bayley would show up to the scene alongside with the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, who was waiting at ringside, for Becky Lynch to lose the opportunity to become Becky Two Belts via pinfall. And after the match was over, she would try to chase Shayna Baszler, only for Bayley, who would get the crap beaten out of her on the outside of the ring for trying to blindside the Queen of Spades, to take her vengeance out on none other than Becky Lynch by running her into the barricade not once but twice, and then just celebrating over her down body. Right, that's the best way to get revenge. And the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw, after a weird moment with Eric Rowan saying coochie coo and how are you to some mysterious creature or beast or whatever it may have been inside of a makeshift cage, we would see none other than Sin Cara going one-on-one against the Scottish Terminator himself, Drew McIntyre. And during this match, my God, it was a one-sided contest with Drew McIntyre doing a glass cow kiss, taking Sin Cara out of the skies, and would even see him do a short arm clothesline that almost sent Sin Cara out of his shoes, until Sin Cara would finally get the upper hand, reverse it into a Hurricane Rana, sending Drew McIntyre to the outside of the ring. And what would happen next, folks, would be one of the most disgusting power bombs I would see to date, because when Sin Cara would try to go for a springboard Hurricane Rana on the outside of the ring, Drew McIntyre would catch him, and you would hear a sick thud on the outside of the ring, and from there, it would be all she wrote after that power bomb, because he would hit that Claymore kick, and Sin Cara would be out staring at the lights for Drew McIntyre to win this match via pinfall. And my God, I think I haven't seen a powerbomb that nasty on the outside of the ring since, let's see here, Sheamus doing the same thing to Jamie Noble that forced him into retirement. Ugh. But besides comparing nasty powerbombs, folks, the next match to take place on Monday Night Raw would be the Bollywood boys themselves, the Singh brothers, going one-on-one against R-Truth for the 24/7 championship. And for those who are keeping track at home, R-Truth is currently a 21-time 24/7 champion and is only, 9 more wins away from beating Raven's record. Nice. But would he be able to get the job done during this match? Unfortunately, no, because when it looked like R-Truth was about to win this match with a lie detector in the center of the ring, the Bollywood boys would run up the ramp and try to get away from R-Truth, even by going into the women's locker room, causing R-Truth to cover his eyes. And when the Bollywood boys thought they finally lost R-Truth in this random room, they would run into something much, much worse in the form of Eric Rowan. And Rowan would decide to throw them up against the wall and would even go into an old school SmackDown 2 shut your mouth moment by picking up an actual couch and throwing it at the Bollywood boys for R-Truth to walk in, find them down on the ground, and instead of going for the pin, he would say, "Oh, never mind, let me get that light for you, dog." Turn the light off, and we would go into the next part of the show, which would see none other than Ricochet trying to talk to Randy Orton, only for Randy Orton's conversation to get cut off by the OC trying to bully Humberto Carrera, telling him to get out of the locker room for Ricochet to play superhero to try to help him, only for the OC to step in to tell him that he should mind his business, and to even bring in Mr. RKO from out of nowhere into the conversation, leading into a 6-man tag team match that will take place later on tonight. So it's that easy for matches to take place, and for Ricochet not to trust Randy Orton in the least bit. And for Randy Orton to rebuttal later on that night is, "The last thing you want me to do is to get inside your head, Ricochet." And for the crowd to go, "Oh," which in reality, according to the couple of fans from the other side of the pond, is not really what happened. Because apparently, according to the UK fans, it was a piped-in crowd. What, they were all carrying pipes? Well, I know what it means, Maestro. I'm just trying to be funny. And speaking of absolutely hilarious, or funny in my case, folks, the next thing to take place on Monday Night Raw would feature none other than Seth Rollins going out to the ring, not only declining Triple H's offer after what happened last week with the Undisputed Era jumping him during his NXT Championship match, but would also say that this is his home, this is Monday Night Rollins, and he challenges anybody in the UK for a fight for the night. And the one person who would come out, and probably one of the most dangerous people in NXT UK, leading the group called Imperium, or Emporium. I think it's Imperium. I keep thinking Emporium, I don't know why, but other than that, folks, it was Walter. Big, oversized Walter who chops people in the chest so hard you feel like you have a heart attack afterwards, would answer the challenge of one Seth Rollins for this match to happen back and forth between the two, and for Seth Rollins to feel one of those heart attack habilitating chops to the chest from Walter, and even a German suplex or two. But Seth Rollins would come back during this match with a tiger knee right to the head of Walter, springboard style, and would even hit him with a Nevada Cadaver kick to the head, and was just about to go weasel stomping, only for the rest of the group of Imperium to come inside the ring, leading this match to be a disqualification in the form of Seth Rollins winning. And then all hell would break loose with the Street Profits coming out trying to help Seth. And then, of all people to help out Seth Rollins, somebody who was a rival of his for the longest amount of time, none other than the Frankenstein monster himself, Kevin Owens, to come out to the ring and beat the crap out of all the members of Imperium. And this would lead to yet another match, which would feature none other than Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and the Street Profits going one-on-one against Imperium. And during this match, action will go back and forth, including Seth Rollins taking a nasty front drop kick from Walter, which no matter how many times I see it is disgusting. And speaking of disgusting, would follow it up with a powerbomb for a near fall, for Walter to go, I guess, insane on the side of Seth Rollins' team by not only taking out the Street Profits, Kevin Owens, and even Seth Rollins was on the ground to try to hit him with a splash, only for Seth Rollins to counter with a humongous superplex, almost shaking the ring. And then once Kevin Owens got in, that's when more hell would break loose, because he would throw super kicks to every member of Imperium, then do a cannonball to the outside, the Alexander Wolf, and then would decide to do a swanton to one of the members of Imperium that I forgot the name of for a near fall. And ultimately, this match would come to an emphatic end after not only Montez Ford but Seth Rollins would put their bodies on the line by doing not only a suicide dive but also a very nasty rope flip plancha to the outside of the ring, landing on the announce table, ouch by the way, for Angelo Dawkins to eat a nasty European uppercut, then for none other than Kevin Owens to come out and hit him with a stunner, then for Alexander Wolf to try to kick out Kevin Owens out of the ring, for him to suffer the wrath of a curb stomp from a returning Seth Rollins back inside of the ring, for the team of Seth Rollins and company to win this match via pinfall. And not to mention thwarting another invasion from Imperium, just like they did on Friday Night SmackDown to Heavy Machinery. So the war is really intensifying here for all brands, and I'm surprised nobody went to NXT to try to take any of them out. Well, with the exception of the OC taking out the Undisputed Era and apparently knocking out Bobby Fish's tooth on the side of one of those equipment trucks. Yeah, the war is really starting to get serious on all sides. And with that said, folks, we might as well head back into the music, and when we return, we'll be back with the second half of what happened during this week's edition of Monday Night Raw from Manchester, England, right after this. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.